Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins.
and you're on the air with Power Squared. This week we have back with us Brandon Starocci,
Yeah, yeah.
the,
How you doing today?
the creator of Avalon. This is your second time on the show,
Yes.
so welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we're going to act like maybe someone didn't see the first show, so tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, I'm Brandon Starocci. I'm the creator / writer of Avalon comic. Avalon is a brand new post-apocalyptic kind of comic book. I've been working on this with Alan probably about 4 or 5 years right now. I have no real background in writing or anything like that. We just kind of took the bull by the horns there. He's had stuff in the past that he's written, and music and stuff like that. So he kind of applied that into this, and we kind of worked together and figured it all out. But me being a big cinema person, just loving movies and all that stuff, kind of got me into like the nature of creation and all that stuff. So it finally stemmed after I met Alan to make Avalon. That's been an idea in my head since I was in high school and all that stuff. It's nice to see it come to life finally.
That's good. So where do you live?
Erie, Pennsylvania.
The garden spot of Pennsylvania?
Yep.
Yeah. That's on Lake Erie, I assume?
Yep. Right, literally below it. Yep.
Okay. Do you get lake effect snow and all that stuff?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It gets very bad sometimes here.
I never understood what the difference was between snow and lake effect snow.
Yeah, I don't technically know the whole science behind it, but I definitely know that there is a difference. When they say lake effect, you're getting slammed.
Oh, okay. Because it was just like, is it snow or something? But anyway. Okay. So where did you go to school?
McDowell High School in Erie.
Okay. Did you go to college or?
Yeah, I went to the Mercyhurst Northeast, which is like 30-40 minutes away from Erie, and all that stuff. I went for criminal justice, though.
That's right. And you work in the courts?
Yeah, I work in at the county courthouse and all that stuff. So I don't do anything. I didn't go to school for what I want to do, and that's obviously creative and writing and all that stuff. So, and which kind of sucks, but whatever. It pays the bills for now, and then you gotta do what you want to do, hopefully.
Yeah, it's a creative outlet for what you want to do.
Yeah,
I totally understand that. Trust me. What made you decide to do a comic book?
What made us decide to do a comic book? It was back and forth between a novel and a comic book. I think just me being more of a visual person in general. I don't like reading a bunch of words on page. That's just my personal thing. So to make something have a bunch of words on page, I would kind of drive me nuts. So, and seeing there was a Walking Dead comic book on my desk at the time years ago, and I looked through it and I was like, and we and Alan were talking, he was over as well while we were kind of creating this whole world, and I was like, why don't we just make a comic book? Obviously I would love to make this like a live action film and all that stuff, but This is definitely the cheapest avenue to kind of make this come to life. But yeah,
you also can kind of control it yourself. You don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
The only thing it may be is if you have to sometimes relate to your artist exactly what you want it to look like, and that's not that we've had issues with that, but I know that could be an issue.
Yeah, it definitely could be an issue. Luckily, we have the artist that we have, Demetrius Nastos, that he just definitely. Right now, we've established a good relationship with each other, that he just knows what I'm looking for and what I'm asking for, and he can just make a lot of what I'm writing down, how I want the panel done, make it look really good. And actually, a lot of times he has a bunch of good ideas that he just throws in there.
So tell us about Avalon.
All right, so Avalon, like I was mentioned, is it's a post-apocalyptic comic book. One of Ding's slogans that I kind of use kind of repeatedly. It's something that it has a little bit of something for everybody. A lot of things that we focus on is mental health, real life physical issues, real life kind of drama, and family values. So you kind of meet the Castle family in issue 1, and you can tell right away that there's kind of this separation from the 3 brothers. One of the brothers is a police officer in the city. the family kind of it lives out in that northeast area that I was kind of mentioning how I went to college. They're about 45 minutes away from the city. So Andy hasn't been around recently. There's been a lot of stuff that's been going on with the family that you'll see play out in issues to come. And a couple seconds later, the apocalypse happens. So now we have to kind of see how the family can put away their differences for a moment just to survive and get by day to day and all that stuff. So they're trying to get, Andy's going to try and get to his family and vice versa and all that stuff. So you kind of see all that play out. And a big thing that we're really trying to focus on is rather than following a hero's journey, like other things have in the past, we're really trying to make the world dictate what happens rather than just writing a story that formulates for the character journey and all that stuff. So really making the world the main character and kind of dictating what happens next.
But but if you had to pick a character like a people, it's the Castle family that we're following through this?
Yes, yeah, and this specific thing. So we're trying to make the world obviously bigger in Avalon, so it's much bigger, but this particular story you're following the Castle family. So there's no specific main character that we're following. It's really the family that's kind of what you're kind of seeing it play out and they're the character. So, but yeah, you're going to follow their journey in the beginning of all this going forward.
Okay. What were some of your influences for storytelling?
Like projects, like movies and stuff like that?
Yeah, whatever came into your head when you were doing this.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously The Walking Dead, it's a juggernaut in the zombie genre. You know, you can't go without saying that. It definitely has a lot of influence on this project for me. A big one as well is 30 Days of Night, which I actually take a lot of that kind of aspect out of it, kind of like the drama, that past drama, but you can't really talk about it because there's this impending doom right here, and then still kind of dealing with the drama, but you have to survive. So a lot of that is taken out of that kind of movie as well, kind of implementing it her own way into Avalon. And obviously just a bunch of the genres. You know, Night of the Living Dead is a big one that has a lot of influence on this as well. And obviously seeing it physically, it's black and white, you know, right. In the first 23 pages, but a bunch of other things on and how characters react and act and all that stuff. But those, I would say, are the big three that influenced Avalon.
Okay. You have any questions? I just don't want to, hog the whole thing.
Right.
If you have something you want to ask.
I guess I would just say, as far as like zombie stuff goes, I recently started playing through all of the mainline Resident Evil games, so I have like Resident Evil on the brain right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely one of the vibes that people have said to us before. Alan said it too, and it has a lot of Raccoon City vibes, the city of Erie, that we're kind of, because this takes place in Erie as well, our fictional Erie city, where we're going to make it our own kind of deal, but it has a lot of Raccoon City vibes where it's not too big, it's not small, it's like right in that middle area.
Yeah.
And that's actually a cool. I didn't even think of that going into it, but as he says it makes more and more sense to me, and it definitely has that vibe. The city of Erie does have that Raccoon City vibe, and it definitely is going to be something that.
They advertise that.
Yeah, exactly.
The Raccoon City vibe.
But that's exactly it, though. It's definitely something that makes sense for Avalon.
Not that I'm comparing it, but there was a podcast that our colorist wanted us to listen to called We're Alive, and it's about sort of a whole, apocalyptic event where people are, if they get bitten, turn not into zombies or whatever, but they turn into sort of superhuman, kind of like speed and strength wise, not necessarily smarter, but just and it makes the humans it makes humans harder to get. They have a hard time getting away from them because they can outrun them, and I don't know, it's sort of the blood part of it kind of reminded me of, and I read your book and listened to the thing separately, but I mean, it's the blood is an important part of that story. Yeah. And I know that biting is, and I assume blood is part of your stories as well.
Yeah. So kind of like one thing that we're going to touch on more, what I can kind of mention to you as well, because the learning about the infected and Avalon as well is a big part of the story going forward and issues to come. Obviously, it's not going to be something where you kind of see in the next few issues, because we're really trying to establish the world and the characters as well. But it is definitely something that we're gonna show how our infected is a little bit different from other genre or zombie genre kind of infected people in the past that has been made, and something like how you mentioned as well. I can say definitely a bite is what is what turns people. Not so. I guess you won't really know right away if blood is going to be something like blood in the eye, kind of like how you're mentioning, or something like that, or in a cut will turn them or whatever. But definitely, as far as you know right now, the bite is what transfers or transitions people into being infected.
Yeah. Now I listened to like 10 chapters and 30 episodes, and it was going to go on and on and on. And they never really got to what these people were. You know, they called them zombies, but they said they were, you know, they're not. That's just a word they were using for them in this little group of survivors. But it was like, God, I looked ahead, year one wrap up. Oh, I can't commit this much time to this. So I backed out after, like, as I say, like 30 episodes of it. It's just going to go on and on and on. So how long ago did you do your last Kickstarter?
We funded that last Kickstarter in September of this year.
Okay. And you're coming back in November for another one.
Yes, we're looking to get out, because one of our goals for this upcoming year is to get 4 issues out next year. Drop an issue every quarter of the year. So this would be perfect timing for us to give us December to order all the stuff, ship everybody's stuff out in January. It'll be a January release, publicly after the Kickstarter. So then after that, we're really trying to get those quarter of the years filled with a comic, and hopefully, by the end of it all.
So you're going to do a Kickstarter for every issue?
We hope not, but because obviously the goal is to kind of stem away from it and obviously have just people who enjoy the comic fund us rather than just just buying it instead of just going into the Kickstarter. But it seems like depending on what we do with this one and depending on how the crowd comes starting towards the springtime next year, we're probably going, if we do, we're definitely going to be staying kind of on the same path we're doing with this one, because it's very exclusive based. We're really trying to do like exclusive covers, exclusive prints, exclusive Christmas card as part of one of them and all that stuff. So kind of Christmas themed this time around, but trying to keep it the exclusive wear for collectors and all that stuff. So
post-apocalyptic Santa, is that?
There's a pin there too that the artist made that we're going to be selling in one of our bundles as an infected Santa Claus.
Sorry to interrupt your.
No, you're good.
Not that this has been an issue for us, but I mean, are you concerned if you do too many Kickstarters in a row that people are going to get maybe kind of? I know there are some people that it seems like as soon as one Kickstarter ends, they already have another one going, or they have one going while the other one's going, and it's like, I can't. It's a lifestyle keeping up with you,
Yeah, that's definitely something that's been floating in the back of our minds here. And again, it's not our goal is to steer away from Kickstarter, and obviously Kickstarter, in the name, is to help kickstart the product. You're not going to use it for every single issue or product that you make. You want it to just kind of help you and kind of promote it and all that stuff. A lot of what I have been thinking for me personally is, because Kickstarter is flooded, has a lot of projects, a lot of the good stuff gets kind of buried and all that stuff, unfortunately. What separates Avalon from other projects is we're really trying, or how you see the difference between Avalon and other projects is, I believe, is reading the story from issues 1 to 6, reading that first volume and going, okay, this is a different zombie comic. This isn't The Walking Dead, or this isn't any other thing I've read. This has its own kind of, tread and all that stuff. So really trying to get those 6 issues out, I think, for me, are important for people to kind of get that basis of the story and see the difference between every other project. So the sooner we could do that, the better success I think Avalon gets.
Right. So tell us about what is the, so for this Kickstarter, what's the big reward, or what should people be excited about, or what are you excited about?
I got criticized for the names of my tiers, but the one is the exclusive bundle 2.0 would probably be the big one. Obviously, you get both exclusive covers. You get the Christmas card of the Castle family. You're going to get a T-shirt of the cover C It's of the infected head. It's very Christmas like. So you're gonna have a T-shirt designed for that, and a poster as well. And with this one, you're getting a bunch of little knickknacks as well from stuff we haven't sold at live events. Like we have these pins for Halloween that we still have, and we're just gonna kind of throw them in there as like little things for exclusive stuff because we've only sold them at events. And obviously it's not Halloween anymore, but and then we're making and the artist is also making a full body kind of infected Santa, which looks really cool. Really cool. I like the way it looks in the pencil stage, so I'm excited to see what it looks like.
No ornament or anything?
Unfortunately not, no. Which would have been some good ideas, but
an infected Santa on your top of your tree or something. Oh, so this is you have 3 covers for the issue?
3 covers. We have the standard cover, then we have the cover B, which we're doing something similar that we did the last one. The cover B we're selling on the Kickstarter and only at live events, so you're not gonna be able to buy that online ever. Cover C is only being sold on the Kickstarter. We're not selling it on any other online platform at events or anything like that. It's going to be just an exclusive bundle that you get with this Kickstarter. It's a holiday one, which, like I said, with the ornaments. It has the ornament balls and then the infected head and all that stuff. It's very Christmas-like and horror-like.
So, as someone that has done a Kickstarter, we did not have variant covers. Is that a big seller for you?
Definitely like after the second Kickstarter and we had the variant cover for issue 2 and we went to events, that seemed to be the draw, was having the variant and really specifying the exclusiveness of it as well. So it definitely, I can't remember how it sold on the Kickstarter, but definitely at live events, that's been the go-to. Okay.
And when you go to a live event, do you have, how many issues do you have, or copies of your issues do you have with you?
Usually I grab like 20 to 40 per issue, and I put them in a box at a big tote, because then I have shirts that I sell as well, event shirts and stuff. So it's kind of all like piled together, but we have them all laid out, and we have enough to sell at an event per day, depending on what the event is bringing and all that stuff. But
do you sell out at these events?
We have sold out of issue. Well, not sold out completely. Like I have still issue 1s, but I didn't bring enough issue 1s to an event before, and it was out. So now obviously trial and error. Now we bring more. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, we're just trying to figure out that kind of stuff for future, and we're using you as a guinea pig. So.
No, it's fine. Hey, whatever works.
Have us on. You can ask us whatever questions you want. What else do you work on besides this book, or is this it?
I do work on a couple other projects. They're obviously not public. There's something that we're kind of doing behind the scenes. I'm working on a movie script right now that's obviously completely different than this. I'm developing the Avalon world even bigger than what you're seeing right now. It's not going to be anything that shows anytime soon. It's just kind of something that I'm working on. Even if I do nothing with it, it definitely helps my mindset writing Avalon. Yeah. And just a couple other, projects that I'm going to be working on. I'm also I'm going to be writing a short film as well, and hopefully get that put into some festivals coming up here. But I'm trying to stay real busy here.
Are you doing this writing with Alan, or is this by yourself?
Yeah. Alan has been helping me, with Avalon. The other things, it's kind of like me just doing, and then other people who are interested in it as well. We're kind of just doing it with each other and trying to get these things moving and just having fun with it.
So you want to tell us something about Alan, since he
doesn't care to show up. No, Alan's goal right now, his main goal right now is if you look at issue 1, you see the 1282 logo on the top left. That's kind of our production label that we're trying to get going here. His half of the business with that is a band, and he's getting his music going and all that stuff. So we're really hoping to get that going here within the next few months, and really he's going to obviously he's gonna be a yay or naysayer for Avalon, but he's not gonna be in the writing room with me as much as he was for this first season, because his attention is gonna be focused a lot on the music. So my job now is to kind of do my thing as the writer and creator and all that, and have make sure the team stays where it needs to stay. And if there's a writer that wanted to help join and the style worked for what I got coming up, then definitely, and all that stuff. So we're just going to be working with a lot of different moving pieces going forward.
Is any of his music going to be crossover with the book, or is this totally separate?
It's going to be probably just totally separate.
Okay, so I'm going to write a theme song for it or anything.
Yeah, well, he might do that eventually, but it wouldn't be anything to do with like an album or anything. But it would be cool for a nice theme song.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to have a Power Squared one.
Yeah.
So when did your Kickstarter start?
This one started last Friday, which was
November 4th?
4th. Yep, 4th. Started on November 4th. I'm doing a 30-day campaign for this one. We decided to do 30 because we did 60 for the last two. And we're just doing 30 just so we can get it out before Christmas and all that stuff, or end it before Christmas, get this stuff moving before the end of the year, and then get this stuff shipped out in January. And it's really just an exclusive bundle.
Okay. So give us a range of tiers. I mean, so if somebody just wanted to get one issue, how much is that? And if they want to go to your executive exclusive 2, what is that?
Yeah, so right now we're looking at $11 pledge for the cover C, which is the Christmas cover and all that stuff. And I'll also mind you as well, there are add-ons. I have an add-on issue 1 and 2 physical copies. If you do order something and you wanted to read it from start to finish, you can get and add that onto your order. We have our PDF catch-up bundles for only $12. We dropped at $3 for that for people if they wanted to catch up. We have a zombie bundle, which is, I don't know if you've talked to them in the past, which is Path of the Pale Rider, Lori, and Ray's comics and all that stuff. So those are both also zombie comics, so we're doing a zombie bundle.
I see.
All 3. And the 2 cover bundle, which you can get cover B and cover 2 or cover C, which are both the exclusive ones, like I mentioned already. So you can get both of those. The exclusive bundle gives you cover B, C, the exclusive poster, and the family Christmas card and the pin. And then the 2.0 gives you all of those things that I just mentioned with a sheet, a t-shirt, and that Santa Claus with the full torso and affected, and a bunch of those little knickknacks as well.
And how much is that?
That's 2.0 is $65.
Oh, that's not terrible, for all that. Yeah, for the t-shirt as well. I think a lot of that is because of the t-shirt, because the t-shirt, because I printed through this local company, which actually their t-shirts are incredible. I didn't realize that they had really good t-shirts like this, but but that's really good material they put on. I don't even know what it's called, but it's really good. Okay. Do you have anything you want to show us from this, or it's your opportunity?
What, for the Kickstarter?
Yeah.
How would I even show you guys?
I don't know.
I just share screen?
You can share if you want. If you have something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it puts you on the spot there, but it's...
Yeah, no, you're good. I think I can present it right here. I could just show some of the... Show the 3...
Oh, there we go. All right. So this is...
All right, so that's the standard cover for Avalon. It'll be cover A. That's the one you can buy everywhere, online afterwards, and wherever you wanted to buy it, wherever you see us. This one is the cover B. This is the one that you can only buy on the Kickstarter and at live events. Right there, you get all the blood and guts. If you're a big horror fan. And this is our Christmas cover this is the cover C. This is the one that you can only buy on the Kickstarter.
Right.
Few Easter eggs, if you're really looking deep into things, you can.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
Doesn't
those
look
are
that doesn't look that horrific. I guess I'm not seeing. I guess the reflections in the balls. I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Yep.
It looks very like a real, yeah, like Christmas.
Yeah, he definitely did a good job with that with the
Yeah.
green, and it definitely looks good. That's our Santa pin that we're gonna be doing there. You have to have something with Santa, right?
Yeah. Especially at Christmas time.
But yeah, these are just a couple of the pages, finished pages that
Right.
we got. A bunch of different angles that Demetrius has been working on with the panel layouts. I think he's been doing a phenomenal job. A lot of this stuff is him looking at my script and dissecting it and doing it in a way that he thinks best. And obviously it ends up turning out real good like he has been doing here, using the blood
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff to really make one with a page.
So do you use black and white to sort of make the blood sort of really pop, or?
Yeah, that's the goal, because I remember I wanted it to be black and white, and obviously because it gave it that pop with the blood. And fortunately enough for us, Demetrius does a very good job with the blood. It makes it look very wet and like real, and and the way he does everything, to me, I think it looks really, really good. And we wanted to do something a little bit different as well, because obviously with the last page of issue 1, as you read, every issue is going to have that splash of color on the last page, so we can constantly just be like, this is what it really is. You see it, this keeps you in the suspense kind of factor with the pages 1 through 23, and then now you could see what it is, in the real world and all that stuff, what colors what. Just kind of like I think a unique thing, and I thought it was pretty cool. And it allows Demetrius to kind of utilize his color, his coloring and all that stuff that he does a very good job on.
Yeah. Does he miss coloring? Or?
Yeah, he misses coloring with the crayons and all that stuff.
Wow. Okay, looks pretty good. And that goes until. Are you concerned at all that it's Thanksgiving and Black Friday and all that?
That was a small concern for me, and again, we're not even asking for that much. It's more, so we're just asking for $800 for this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something for the collectors. It's just enough so we can fund it and get them printed off, so we can go to events, and then it gives us opportunities to go places and really display Avalon's name as much as we can. So it was a little concern of mine, but it's a holiday season. People want to spend money, and we're not asking for that much.
Yeah.
So
when we did our first Kickstarter, it was right around Thanksgiving, which was good for us that there was a lot of relatives we could hit up. But
yeah, like, come on.
In one spot, but
yeah.
There was a little bit of concern that people were like, hey, I got, I don't know. People are always going to give me an excuse why they can't afford it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get people who read it give you feedback, or you just?
Yeah, I've had actually quite a few people read it and give me feedback, and most of the time it's good feedback. I've had people. I wouldn't say anything bad, but it's like they notice these little things, and I think it's funny because it's like that's how you can tell they're actually like paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like little things that I've had to explain to them, like what it is and what I was doing with it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense then." But yeah, we've gotten some pretty good feedback, which obviously the whole team is excited about it. So a lot of us put our time and effort into it as well, and it's always good to hear things like that.
Yeah. So what is the name of the Kickstarter if people are going to look for it?
Yeah. It is Avalon #3 Last Christmas.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So after the Kickstarter is over, people can still buy these issues?
Yes. The standard cover, you can buy this one right here. Let's get back down here. Yes, this is the standard cover you can buy on our Shopify app, which is linked to our link tree. So if you find us on any kind of social media platform, our link tree is going to be tagged there. So after the fact, you can buy our issue 1, 2, a couple different posters. This issue will be on our Shopify app, and this one you still can get, but at live events. So if you're near Erie and we're going to a special area and you see us, that's where you can get it.
Okay.
Or you can get it on a Kickstarter. Make sure you do solidify your chance of getting it if you do like it.
All right. Are these limited quantities or?
No, just this one is for right now.
Right.
I don't know how many I got to figure out how many I'm gonna order of this one, but depending on the feedback of it, will dictate if it's gonna be just a limited, kind of deal, or if we're just gonna sell more of it or order more of it for people.
Okay. So if people want to follow you, how would they do that?
You would just go find our link tree on any kind of social media. We're Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. We actually just now are on YouTube. We released a commercial as well. So that was fun filming. But basically, look for us on any social media. We always have our link trees tagged on them, and then you can kind of get us everywhere. But just kind of look for us and look for the title and hit us up.
Okay. Do you have any? So do you have a website?
Not a website yet. We're waiting a little bit. I'm hoping next year or by springtime our website is going to be up and ready. Like an actual website too, instead of using obviously the Shopify and all that stuff. So we're hoping springtime that we get that going.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say?
I think that about
covers it. Okay.
So if you're watching us on YouTube later and you like this, leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell, and leave a comment below if you have any thoughts you want to share.
Okay, and we will link in the description to your Kickstarter. So hopefully we can help promote it a little bit. All right. So thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me again.
Oh, that's great. And good luck with the Kickstarter. We'll probably be participating as well. So
very much appreciate
keep reading it.
And until next time.
So until next time, I'm David Hankins.
And I'm Paul Hankins.
And you've been on the air with Power Squared.